Good evening. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing great and having a great weekend. I found a subject that I wanted to touch on for everybody today. It was really eye-opening. Really. Okay, so y'all know we've been looking around for property and houses and tiny houses and everything in East Texas. Well, I've been watching a lot of videos by somebody who calls the video. I mean, the owner of the video is TD, and they've been doing a lot of videos on taxes in Texas and homeowners insurance and stuff and all that in Texas. Okay, but today I actually have some first-hand experience to share with you. What happened to my hair? Okay, that's a little better. Anywho, I washed it today, and you know how it is when you wash your hair, it does what he wants. But anyway, so we started, calling up just to try to, we had one house that we were looking at that my son and his wife really liked, and then, of course, we're getting the tiny house, right? Well, so for the heck of it, I called up on the house that they were looking at, which is a 4-bedroom, 1-bath, not a new house. This house was built in 1965. Of course, it was remodeled. I don't know what year because, I just don't. And it didn't say much, on the appraiser's website about that. But to make a long story short, guys, I hope that if you're in Texas or you're thinking of moving to Texas, that you listen to what I'm saying. Because if it don't change, everybody's going to move out of Texas. I know that guy TD or whatever it is, or TL. I'll try to put his video channel in here because it's a good set of videos. But anyway, I guess a lot of people were trying to move to Texas, especially from California, because supposed to be a lot of new industry coming in Dallas and everything else. But for some reason, the houses haven't been selling, and a lot of people have been leaving them at the closing table. And I was kind of trying to figure out, well, didn't they know how much it was going to cost, because a lot of them were seniors too, and some were middle-aged, some were young. But supposedly, or allegedly, let me say, that they had houses built, and I'm talking about expensive houses, okay? 400 and something thousand and up, and they were going to be, doing good, working at some new companies coming in, making good money, and blah, blah, blah. And then people went to the closing table and found out that their insurance and taxes were just as high as the payment itself. So if their payment was $1,000 something, and that was just your principal and interest, right? Okay, so they were paying double that by the time they hit the closing table, right? So today I thought, yeah, we better start, checking it out. So to make a long story short, this house we were looking at, like I said, it was built in 1965. It was a nice little house. It only had 1 bathroom, just a basic little 4-bedroom, 1-bath frame house. Frame house with no gas, it was all electric, and let's see, metal roof, brand new metal roof. Had to be under 4 years old, which is what drew my son to it. So to make a long story short, I called my auto insurance. I'm not going to mention no name, but I figured, you know, my auto insurance would, I wanted to see what kind of a quote I would get, you know, because you always get a nicer quote when you have insurance with them already. So I called them. Well, first what I did is I went to their website, okay? And I put in the house, the address, blah, blah, blah. Everything started popping up about the house, you know. And you had a lot of questions to answer and stuff like that. So I answered all them questions, and it told me how many square feet the house was, which it was like 1,200 square feet. So we're not talking about a humongous house, right? So, anywho, it came up and it said, enter here for your quote. So I hit enter, and it came up to $7,182 for the year for homeowners insurance, not counting the flood insurance that is required in Texas, just like it is in Florida. It's required here even if you are only 1% likely to have a flood. That's the truth. Okay, so I looked at this and I said, wait a minute. $7,100 and something for insurance. And when I say insurance, I'm talking basic insurance. Yeah, I almost died. I said, I can't tell my son that. He's liable to have a badass seizure. But anyway, I said, well, maybe I put something in there wrong. You know, let me call the company and have them do this one-on-one, and let's see what happens. To make a long story short, when I did it one-on-one, calling the lady, it actually went up to $8,000 and something a year. A year, okay? I said, there's something I could not imagine that that's what it would be. I mean, so she told me everything that is not included as well. So check this out. Now, I would, or him, or I, or whatever, we would be expected to pay $8,000 a year. Let's say $8,000 roughly a year for our insurance. Then we have to go out and get flood insurance, because every single house in the state of Texas is now required to have it, because they put a 1% chance of flooding everywhere. Everywhere. And we're nowhere by the coast. We're not. Okay? So anyway. And then the lady tells me, this really freaked me out. She said, well, let's see. One reason it's high is because of hurricane coverage. I said, what do you mean hurricane coverage? This ain't Florida. I said, I know southern, like in Houston, you know, I know they have hurricanes, right? She said, oh, no, you know, the hurricanes came so close to the northeastern quadrant in the area where you live, that, or where this house is, that now you have to have hurricane coverage. And we don't charge you for an extra policy for the hurricane. There's no rider for it. It's just that we add a payment on it or some crap like that. A portion of your insurance is in case you should be so unlucky that you get hit by the hurricane. I could not even believe it. Okay? I said, you know what? I said, one reason I was glad I was moving here is because I wasn't going to have to worry about hurricanes. And now you're telling me I will have to worry about hurricanes? I said, when did that start? And that's when she told me that I think last year, one of the hurricanes that came up from the coast, from Corpus Christi and everywhere, came this way and did some damage in this quadrant somewhere, and I'm like, oh my God. So, to make a long story short, that's part of a hurricane coverage that they are now requiring for the northeast quadrant of Texas. Not to mention other places, okay? That's the only one I know about. Okay, so not only that, you have a deductible of $2,500 for like regular damage on your house or anything else that happens to it. So you got to pay the $2,500 deductible before they pay anything. Now that's that, right? Now we all know that in the state of Texas, there is hail the size of baseballs, okay? Softballs. There is. Well, your policy for hailstorms, and I can't remember what else it was, anything to do with hail and wind and stuff like that, your deductible is $3,300 before they pay for the first little stone that hit your house. I'm not kidding you. If it's hail damage, okay? So that surprised me in itself, guys, okay? And I can't even imagine. I'm trying to think of all the deductibles this lady was telling me that we would have. And this is after you're paying $8,000 some odd $100 a year for your homeowner's insurance. And I don't even want to think about what that little flood insurance policy would do to your payment as well. So I told my son, and I was like, I don't want you to faint or anything, but, you know, this is how much the insurance is down here. And I explained all the deductibles you have and all that, and how you still had to get flood insurance, and that is utterly ridiculous. Just utterly ridiculous. And, you know, a lot of people say, well, the reason that Texas is like that is because they promote themselves as not having a state tax. But they put the state tax money on the tax, the property tax, the insurance you use, and all this other stuff. Well, people like me ain't going to be able to afford that. That's going to double your payment. That is going to double your payment. So I was I said, well, let me see how much the tiny house is now, you know. So that came up at least as a normal homeowner's policy that I'm used to, okay? So for a tiny home with a metal roof, again, it don't cover flooding at all. No flooding, no water damage, no what do you call it? You have to pay a deductible for, you know, the hail, if there's any hail damage. But still, it was only $1,200 a year. I can handle that a hell of a lot better than I could $8,000 and something. Okay? So no wonder they're saying people are leaving here left and right. You need to watch those other videos. I am going to try my very best to put the right link or the name of the videos, because they will have your eyeballs stuck open. And all these people that they built all these homes for, they're not selling now. And this is before I even called yesterday, you know, to find out about how much insurance was and all that. I didn't know that, you know, and I kept wondering, why are these people, you know, these investors bought all these houses out here, well, around where we live, and I'm sure up near Dallas and everywhere else. And they rebuilt the houses, remodeled them, and then were hoping to either sell them or make Airbnbs out of them. Well, that's not working. It's not working at all. People do not want to pay that much, because they raised the price on little 2-bedroom, 1-bath houses to astronomical prices. And when they put down the interest rate the other day to whatever it was, I think 2-point-something% or whatever, they lowered it. The people, the real estate, I'm sorry, my nose keeps itching. I'm allergic to this house. The people who were selling the houses raised the houses back up to the prices they had them at the beginning of this year. Yeah, just because that interest rate went down. And I'm thinking, there's houses out here for $599,000, $480,000, $380,000, and I'm not talking about Taj Mahal. And I saw it pop up on my computer yesterday. Oh, we got 5 new increases in homes in your area. I said, increases? Yep, so they did. They increased the prices back up. Just because I guess the rate went down for the interest. But anyway, y'all let me know what you think about this. If you live in Texas or you don't. Because one thing I did read today, and I can't remember where I read it at, guys, but it said, in the last year, Texas has become more expensive to live in than California. I thought I was going to die. I never thought I would see that. Because California has always been very expensive on everything. So what do you think? Tell me what your thoughts are. And how likely do you think that people will be to have 2 different insurance policies on their house and property at those prices? Because let me tell you, the house that he was looking at, the payment was like $1,700 a month, I think. And if you look at $8,000 and some odd dollars more, it's around $600 more a month that you're going to have to add to that payment on that house. And their rentals out here are like $2,300. 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. And I'm not talking about, again, no Taj Mahal house. So, and all they're building out here is RV parks. Brand new RV parks. And I can only imagine how much it's going to cost to stay there. And they're only letting them have short-term rentals. Like a weekend, 2 weeks. Yeah. So, yeah, it's surprised the hell out of me. But anyway, guys, I hope you have the best rest of your weekend, and I hope this didn't ruin it. But yeah, give me a thumbs up if you like this video and the content and the craziness. And subscribe if you haven't. We would love to have you. Hit the bell and you'll get all our videos. What else? Share us out. Share us out to your friends. You got somebody who's going to be trying to move to Texas. Have them watch my video. But anyway, this is just me signing off until the next time, which is going to be probably tomorrow, because I do have another video that I'm going to be talking about the reviews that are done online on stores and on stuff like that. Just wait until you hear. I'm not going to give it away. Just listen to the video. It'll be about all the reviews that are online about different places. I love you guys. Have a great evening. Bye now.